What's up, guys? I was trying to get this hat to work. I was going to put it like this and be like, yo, what up? Yo, we here.
We are here.
We out here. Let me tell you what happened. Yo, today's episode's about what do you do when you know what to do? No, I'm just kidding.
The fuck? I'm sorry, guys, but
Stop throwing
this,
F-bombs.
guys, don't do drugs.
Today's episode, Cody, who gave up the last one? I did or you did?
I did the last one.
Okay, so today's episode is about how do you know. Why'd I forget it? How do you know? God damn it, Cody. Say it. What is
So,
enough time? No.
How much time matters in a relationship?
I wasn't. Why did I not? I had a brain fart for
It's
a
okay.
second. Oh.
It's all right. It happens. So with this topic, would you like to elaborate now, or do you want me to continue?
Okay, I'm gonna let's get into it. How do you know?
How much time matters in a relationship? So pretty much like how valuable is time in a relationship?
What?
How
Really?
much time matters in I feel like that's similar, isn't it?
No.
Oh, all right.
No. Okay. This episode is brought to you by not knowing what the fuck we're talking about. So how much time is why can't I fucking speak?
talk. Can you talk?
Cody, just go with it first and I'll cut back in.
All right. So for this topic, I'm going to just start off with how much time matters in a relationship. I think that when I think of that, it is an important part. For example, I am out hanging out with my girlfriend, right? Where we spent all of Friday. I think it's important that, yes, you have to obviously spend time and make time for your loved ones, but you also need to have your own quality time alone. You know, that way you are not becoming codependent on each other, or one of them becomes codependent on that one person. I think it's important that each person has their own alone time or time with their own friends. That way they have, you know, a life of their own outside of the relationship.
I'm looking back at what she has said. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
Okay.
How much time matters in relationships? How much time? So not how much time matters in relationship. We're saying how much does time matter in a relationship,
Yeah.
right? How much time matters in, because when you think about what she had asked, how much time. So believe it or not, that word "does" changes everything in this statement, in this question. How much time matters in a relationship, or how much time?
How much does time matter
in a relationship, right? So Cody explained how much does time
Yeah.
matter in a relationship. When the original question is how much time matters in a relationship, you can think of, well, how long should it be before you meet my parents?
Yeah.
How long should it be before we think about moving in with each other?
How long until, you know, we make it official? How
Right.
long until he proposes? How long until we get married?
Right. How long before we buy a house?
Yeah.
How long before we have kids? How long? Was you said that?
I didn't
No,
say
I say
kids.
that.
No.
How long before we make it the thing? We do the dirty.
We make the babies.
We do the snuggle,
Yeah.
snuggle. All right. We do
wow.
the intimate course.
The beep boop bop boop.
We do the people. We're fucking R2D2. We do the Star Wars. We insert the lightsaber. You still got that cough going on? All right, breathe.
Fuck you.
Good. So he just gave me the finger, letting me know I'm number one still. So, yeah, her original statement was that, and every scenario is different, and that's opinionated because every person can feel a different way. Somebody could say, well, we've been dating for 6 months, we should be in a relationship. Someone else could say, we've been dating 2 months, 3 months, we should be in a relationship. Some people could say, oh, we've been dating for a year, we should be in a relationship. So when you're talking about that, that's per person. There's not really set guidelines on something like that. When it comes to how before you meet the parents. That one's a tricky one.
I think it depends.
Would you have someone meet your parents before you get in a relationship with them or after?
I would want them to meet my parents.
I was gonna say you're thinking about what you did.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to remember because how I did it before I asked my current girlfriend to be my girlfriend, I had her meet all of my friends first, so I could see how she sort of mingled and sort of came into my life and if it would fit. I think that, yeah, I think that's how it went, if I remember correctly. It was, I know for a fact, because her and I talked about this, that she wanted to be in a relationship or knew that she wanted to be in a relationship before I asked her. You know, like I knew that she was like hinting that she was ready, you know, and I wanted to take my time more with it. And it wasn't until that she met my final group of friends that I was like, okay, you know, will you be my girlfriend?
Gotcha. Yeah, I would. I mean, the old me would probably say I'd like to have my girlfriend. Well, let me rephrase that. If I'm dating somebody for a few months, right? No, you keep going. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Do what you gotta do. If I was dating somebody for a few months, what I would probably say is, let's say we've been dating for 4 months, and if we're dating for 4 months, then maybe I'll start to say, okay, should she meet my friends or should she meet my like close friends? Not my acquaintances, but more my close friends. And then after, let's say 5, 6 months, if I really see like, okay, this is really gonna go somewhere, this is like straight future with this person, then I would want them to meet my parents before the relationship happens, because you got to get approval. Well, I mean, not really. You're not really in a relationship with, it's you and that person. That person's not in a relationship with your family, and you're not in a relationship with their family. It's really you two. But it's always better when the village can get along than it is when the village is so separated. So I would probably have my girl meet my parents. I wouldn't mind both ways. I wouldn't mind my girl meeting my parents either when we're in a relationship or right before we get into a relationship. Because if she meets my parents before we get into a relationship, and let's say my mom didn't like her, I mean, really, yes, my mom's opinion is relevant, and I would take it, with a grain of salt at the same time. Because if I like the girl, then I like the girl. Like, Ma, you need to understand, you need to trust my opinion.
Yeah.
If you don't like the girl, then that's more of a you problem than a me problem. That's how it is. But I would still want somewhat of an approval from my parents. So I wouldn't mind her meeting my parents prior to getting into a relationship. But if she doesn't feel comfortable and wants to wait till we get into a relationship to meet the parents, then I'm cool with that too.
Yeah, I agree with the getting their opinion, and you know, taking it into account. I will say, out of past relationships, I definitely have taken it more into account because I very much value me and my girlfriend and us, you know, being able to hang out with my family and being able to like just do family activities, and you know, she comes over or we do barbecues and stuff, and it's like she can hang out with my sisters and, you know, my stepmom or my mom, and it's like everyone gets along really well.
Yeah.
You know, because when that doesn't work, it really hurts me, you know. And from past experiences, unfortunately, I allowed people to take me away from my family, which hurt my family, and then in the end, myself. So I never want that to happen again. So I really value on you being able to, along with myself, going into their life, but how you work your way into my life, and if it works and if it feels good and if it, you know, that everything's, you know, pitch perfect and stuff like that. So I definitely, the time thing though, I would say you and I are very similar, where we take our time more with before jumping into something. And if I remember, I think it was around 4 or 5 months before I asked her to be my girlfriend.
Yeah, I had that. I used to have the 3 to 5 month rule. And that always worked out pretty well. But it also depends on your age.
100%.
Right. And the reason why I say that is because when in my last 2 relationships or my last 3 relationships, I was living at home. Right. So if you're dating somebody and you go on a few dates or whatever, you're the guy. So most of the time, the girl's going to come over your place. Then you're going to go over the parents' house. Right. And when you're a boy, you have a little more leniency than when you're a woman and you're having a girl and you're having a guy come over your place.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, you end up meeting the parents before you get into a relationship. Now, when you move out of your parents' house and you're an adult and you're dating somebody for a while, that's when you start to say, okay, when is it a good time for her to meet my parents?
Yeah.
Versus when you're younger living at home, you don't ever think of that.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, come over, you know, hey, it's my mom. We're going to go watch a movie.
For me, it was because I did move back in with my family after my last relationship, and, you know, with this current relationship with my girlfriend, they now know this, my family, but, you know, my girlfriend came over when they were gone for the weekend. So she had been, you know, coming over to the house and all that.
Snitch.
And
Snitch.
No, but so there was actually a moment where it was like, hey, come over and, you know, meet the family and all that, because I just wanted to have that final, you know, this is my girlfriend. This is the person that I'm.
Well, yeah, right. So we can. That's a good way to bring up the story, because you live at home. I have my own place.
Yeah.
So if they didn't go away, then
yeah, that's
you would have had no choice but for her to show up before, right?
You know, I mean, when we first met, we didn't actually go out on a date for a month. We talked over text for about a month, and that was because of me.
Schedule.
Because, my schedule, and, you know, she didn't believe me, and her friends thought that I was lying to her, that I didn't want to meet up with her, but I was working almost every single day of the week in June last year, and I had no time. I was like, I promise you, I would love to go out with you, and I'm really, like, we're talking every single day, but I actually just don't have the time. And luckily enough, she stayed and waited, and then we did, and, you know, we just kept growing from that point on, and here we are, you know.
Guys, we just did an episode, how you know the guy just wants to sleep with you. And what did we say one of those things were?
It was...
He just would always be avoidant of wanting to do something with you.
Yeah, exactly.
It was you.
Yeah, you know.
Just kidding.
No, but...
Just kidding, Daniel.
Yeah, but it's true, you know, and I definitely probably, in a lot of people's eyes, would have been a red flag. But, you know, she saw that I was genuine in my conversations and getting to know her and wanting to actually take her out. So I'm thankful that she stuck around, you know.
I get it.
But so let's go back to what we were talking about. What is something else that you think matters with time in a relationship?
Right. So we covered the meeting, the family part.
Yeah. We kind of covered the relationship and
when to ask to
when
be
to
in a
ask.
relationship. Right.
Yeah.
That just to touch base on that a little bit more. I think it depends per person also. Some people have like a 3 to 6 month rule. So, apparently some people have longer than that.
Longer than that, yeah.
Right. Everybody has to be comfortable in the decisions that they want to make. No matter how much you try to make somebody feel comfortable, if someone is just stuck in their head, they're stuck in their head. It's just how it is. Eventually, hopefully, they get out of it. But I don't think there's a certain time frame for that. I think it just depends on the person, right?
The person and the connection.
The person and the connection, right? Well, I mean, yeah.
Because you can be your connection can be elevating faster with someone than maybe someone else. You know?
Right.
Because you may just be hanging out more, so you feel that you're getting closer. Because that, like you said, it depends. Like, say you're hanging out with a person 3 times a week compared to 1 time a week. You're going to get closer faster with the 3 times a week compared to the 1 time a week.
1 time a week, right, or 1 time every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the time frame, that is where time matters as well. How about the first time that you guys do it?
Okay, so for me, and I know we mentioned it a little bit in the previous podcast because we were talking about sex.
Previous episode. I was talking about.
But for me, I have a rule of usually possibly after the second, most likely the third or fourth date. But you know, like we said, there are people that will try to do it on the first date. In my opinion, that's not always the smartest. I think it's better to wait, really get to know the person, grow some intimate, beyond sex, like grow that tension.
I gotta tell you a story.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off, but I don't care about telling this story because to me it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think I told you this story about the girl that I went on a date with in Queens. Did I tell you about that girl?
Yep.
And what she had told me when we went out to dinner for the first time.
Yeah.
So we went out, and I really don't give a shit if she's watching this. We went out.
She probably isn't.
She's probably not. We went out on. I think I met her on Hinge. It might have been Hinge or Bumble. It was the one time I think I used it, and she was European. And I drove to Queens to meet her, picked her up. It was the first date. Picked her up from her house. Did not look really anything like the pictures that she had posted. So I almost felt catfished, basically. But I'm not a jerk. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll just go through the date. I'll get drunk and maybe she'll look prettier. So we went to a place in Queens. We sat down. We started eating. I grabbed a drink. She grabbed a drink. I finished that drink rather quick. Grabbed another drink. Finished that one rather quick. Then I'm on my third one and still not feeling it, right? So we're having a conversation, and she was kind of being rude in person. So I was sipping a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
Trying to just get this day to go by. And then I go to the bathroom, and I'm sitting in the bathroom like, oh my God, how am I going to get this fucking thing to be over with, please? And I know the waiter feels it because he keeps looking at me, and I'm just like listening to this girl, and I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I'm not rude. I try to be respectful. Okay. We go back to the seat. I sit down. And she looks at me, she goes, so what do you think about me? And again, I'm not rude, I'm not an asshole, right? I said, well, I'm enjoying our conversations, and I think you're intelligent, and I'm having a good time. Left it just like that. And I said, well, what do you think about me? Bro, I was not expecting this woman to say what she said. I got my drink in my hand like this. And she goes, oh, and I'm about to sip. And she goes, oh, I think we need to have sex.
Yeah, I remember you telling me this story.
Wait, what? And she goes, yeah, I think we need to have sex. She goes, I'm European, and I love sex, and I need sex. So I think we're going to need to have sex. And I went, like now? Like here? And she goes, no, like not right now, but soon. And I went, oh, okay. And I just took my sip.
Yeah.
And then that's when I think her phone rang. So she went in her bag to get it. And I looked at the waiter and I went, just like that.
Yeah.
So he comes over with the check. I was like, thank God this guy brought me the check. And I dropped over phone. Never spoke to that girl again.
Yeah.
That's just fucking weird.
Yeah.
I dead ass felt, as a man, I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah. With how aggressive she was.
Bro, like,
Yeah.
I know men can be aggressive to women, but when the roles flipped, I'm never an aggressive person.
Yeah.
To especially towards women. But when the roles flipped on me, I was like, dude, I almost felt like I was molested.
Verbally molested.
Verbally molested. She just literally fucked me with her eyes. It was so weird. Anyways, I don't know why that story came about.
I have no
It was
idea.
something you said that triggered it.
Yeah.
It was
no idea what that was.
Yeah, I think it was because you said not to have sex the first date.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
that triggered that story. It was a weird story, and that happened. I don't remember when it happened, but
So then with me thinking that maybe 2, more likely 3 to 4, in terms of waiting to
Days
Yeah,
or
no,
dates?
dates, not days. 3 to 4 dates would be the ideal length, in my opinion,
I
in
agree.
terms of. So is that so? That's around what you would say?
No, I don't have a
Or
time frame.
okay,
Yeah, I don't have I never really had a rule. When I was younger, like 19, 20, 21, 22,
you didn't care.
I didn't care.
I think
Usually
most people, yeah,
by the second date I was already,
hmm
doing something at
yeah,
least. But now I'm older, I don't care. I
hmm
stopped caring when I hit like 28.
yeah,
It was more of the connection. Like I'm trying to build a
yeah,
connection with you.
yeah. I mean that. Obviously, we all, I think, in a relationship, everyone knows that sex and intimacy is needed.
Oh, it's super important.
But it is not the leading factor that you're chasing.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of the actual connection that you're building, the foundation, the beliefs and vision that you both see building in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I think every situation again is different. Some people have it where they might want to wait a month or two,
yeah,
because they are just either shy or they're not ready for it. If you just got out of a relationship or marriage,
hmm
you might wait a little bit longer.
yep, you're good.
And that's one of those things where it's again scenario based
Yeah,
and each person. So your rule of like 3 to 5, I think that's a pretty standard rule across the
yeah,
board for most people.
hmm
For me, it's you got to feel it out, right? If
hmm
the first date is cool, second date they're still timid, third date they're still timid, fourth date is like, all right, I
yeah,
know you're not still timid.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
made you feel pretty comfortable. There's no
yeah,
way in hell you're still this shy.
yeah.
So I don't know.
Now, all right, question.
Answer.
So say, because in my opinion, and I think, I don't know if guys really do this, but I think this is something that gets thrown around when guys are talking, would you wait, say, 4 months? And in my opinion, I think that's a no. Like girls that want to wait, hold on that long,
Yes.
because I respect if it's for marriage that you're waiting for, fully respect that. That's your belief.
Mhm.
If you find you and your man or you and your woman want to wait until marriage, by all means, go for it. But I think when a woman is trying to hold out and see how long the guy will wait, I feel like there's an opportunity that you will lose a guy that could have been really good for you.
I won't play that game.
Yeah.
I won't, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Because the other thing too is it makes you question not just your value, but it makes you question the attraction towards you.
Yeah. Because there's a certain point there's a certain time period where you feel, okay, you can tell that this person is attracted to you and is reciprocating the same energy that you're throwing at them. You know?
Right. I don't like the time frame thing. When someone tries to put a time frame, like if we have been on multiple dates,
Mm-hmm.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1
Going
month, 2
great.
months, 3, and they're fantastic,
Yeah.
and I'm taking you home late, and you're coming over my crib, and we're watching movies, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
And I've tried, and you're like, I'm not ready.
And it's even like you're getting somewhat close and intimate and
the worst part is when they tease you
yeah, but so another
and don't do anything
yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
who the fuck do you think you're playing? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, 100%. So I think that that's a dangerous, at least in my opinion, a dangerous thing to do where you could possibly lose someone who might have been a good match for you.
Yeah, because
And
it's
they,
like this different connection.
And I'm a very patient guy, but there's to a point where I'm looking for affection and intimacy. And if you can't give that to me and reciprocate what I'm giving you in terms of affection and intimacy, then it's not going to work.
Yeah, to me, it's again, the communication is the super important thing, right?
Yeah.
But everything else that builds a relationship, intimacy is one of the most important things. And believe it or not, the problem with intimacy is as years go on, people let it fade.
That's a huge thing that can, we talked about this in the Keys to a Relationship episode, where that is one of the biggest factors that can drive a relationship to fail is because the lack of intimacy that you still have in your relationship, that you still need to bring that in and have that throughout the relationship on multitude of levels.
Yeah. Dude, you're good at remembering stuff.
Here and there.
Yeah, because I'll be honest with you, man. Like, my girl literally told me yesterday. She's like, "Oh, I watched your episode that we had filmed about whatever." And I told you that, and she had mentioned Bora Bora, and I went, "How do you know about Bora Bora?" I just don't remember the stuff that we say.
Damn.
I don't know why. I can't remember it.
I think why I remember it is because
Well, you also edit it
I'm just like
over and over and over
again.
and I don't remember. And I said, "Well, how do you know that?"
Yeah.
And then she'll say something else. Like, I said that? Yo, I don't remember anything after an episode. I don't know why. So when I go back and watch it, I feel like I'm watching something new.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
That's why when I remember you said your was it your grandma's
I said
story
it like three
three
times.
and I'm like, I've heard this maybe 100 times now.
Yeah. Oh my god, you got me on that one.
But it's all good.
Yeah. So the time frame with the intimacy, I think that's per person. But if you're waiting like 2-3 months, you need to get your shit together.
Yeah.
Any guy that sits down and says, "I'll wait 3-4 months," you're a simp.
Yeah.
You don't know. You either don't like sex, or you're not good at it.
Yeah.
Or
100%.
you're not confident enough in your package.
Yeah. In what you have to offer.
You're not good at your delivery service.
Yeah. You're a terrible milkman.
Yes. You are not good at slaying the beast.
Oh.
So, anyways, back to what we were saying. I don't know why I was going down that road of coming up with things.
It's okay.
Let's talk about how long before you ask, or how long before you move in together.
Okay. I think that can vary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it depends on how comfortable you become, how quick. The age, I think, also matters. I think that's another thing where age really does matter, and your maturity.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think when, say, you're 22, you may not be at the mature level that you and I are at now, where understanding how you move and go through life differently in your priorities. So I think for me, the age definitely differs or matters. But, you know, right now for me, I think that you could move in between, you know, say you've been dating for 8 months to a year. I think you could easily move in together, you know, and move into that next step. So you've gone out, you asked each other out, you've been officially dating for 7 to 8 months, and you're like, you know what, let's take it to the next step. You know, like, let's see, you know, because you're over my house already X amount of days, you know, what the next step is seeing how we coexist in the same living space, you know. And I think that is another huge step to where you really are going to find out who that person is and whether you know, want to live with that person for the rest of your life. And you see that potential of a partner forever. You know, I think those feelings are there, but I think actually seeing how a person lives every single day, 24/7, in terms of them being in your space, you can really get a better, you know, understanding and, you know, knowing of what you want for the future with that person.
Yeah. Moving in with living with someone is, you really don't know someone until you live with them.
Mm-hmm.
And you could kind of get a gauge on how it would be to live with someone depending on how many times they're over your place or you're over their place.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And me personally, in the relationship that I'm in now, I will say, waking up next to her, to me, there's nothing better than that.
Yeah.
Literally waking up next to her is nothing better than that. And I know that if you're staying over my house, like you said, 3-4 days a week, you know what I mean? I'm staying over your place like 2 days a week.
Yeah.
Why pay 2 separate rents at that point?
Yeah. You know,
really, what's the point of that? So you can live on your own. You're not living on your own. Because if you think about it, for instance, I work, so I will be out all day. from usually 6 in the morning to 6 at night, I'm out.
Yeah.
And when I'm home, if I come home at 6:30, 7 o'clock, I want to spend time with my girl.
Yeah.
I don't want nothing else. Like I've been out there working all day, going to the gym, right, doing a trap. When I get home, my girl's my peace.
Yeah.
Not my apartment. Yeah, the apartment's nice and all, but when you sit down and you're literally sitting in your apartment and you're thinking about the other person, that's really where your peace lies.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's quiet where you are and shit, but to me, it's if we've been dating or we're in a relationship and it's been pretty much almost a year, and we want to see each other all the time, we want to lay next to each other all the time,
Yeah.
we miss each other all the time, then why the fuck not?
Yeah.
What do you got to lose at that point?
100%. And it's one of those things where, similar, you're saying the 4 days a week, 2 days there, like my girlfriend comes over for the whole weekend, right? So we're spending the entire weekend together if I don't have any jobs. It's like, I kind of already know. It's not just like, oh, you sleep over and then it's like, you don't come back the next day. It's like, no, we're spending the whole night, spending the entire weekend together doing things. It's like, we're practically there, And it, again, like you said, the yearning and the missing each other and, getting like, there is nothing better when you can come home, go to bed with your girl, wake up next to your girl, and you just go to work and you're just happier because you've been able to, you feel more complete.
Yeah.
You're in a better place mentally because I got everything that I've been looking for in life.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm winning already. You start the day, like you don't wake up and you're, damn, I wish my girl was here. You don't have that. You're like, damn, I woke up to the most beautiful girl right next to me.
Yeah, and you got to remember that. That's where a lot of guys, they take that for granted, and a lot of women take that for granted.
Say that again.
You can't take that for granted. Yeah, if you wake up next to your girl every day or you wake up next to your man every day and you think that that's guaranteed the next day, you're wrong. And I've learned that the hard way. You're wrong. I mean, you need to appreciate every single time. I have a rule. My rule is we will never go to sleep upset at each other.
Oh, no.
Never.
No.
I will never go to sleep upset at you. Even if you've done, unless you've cheated, that's a different story. But we're not going to sleep together at all.
No.
But if you've done something or you said something that was disrespectful, I'm going to bring it up right away.
So back to our episode, communication. Communication is the fundamental number one spot for a healthy relationship. Now, with communication, it can be very uncomfortable and awkward. But I'd rather it be uncomfortable and awkward and us work through that together and see the light on the other side and us be good than us not bring it up, it boil up, and then it becomes a fight, and then that ends the relationship.
Yeah, your dating is for you to have tough conversations.
Yeah.
And that's the most important part about dating is having tough conversations because you need to know where the future is going to go.
Yeah, you need to know that, okay, we can work through anything that comes our way, and we're both battle tested, and that, hey, we're here to stay. What? Throw it all. I got it. Don't worry. If I got it and I know you got it, we're good.
Yeah, exactly. So when it comes to asking someone to move in with you, again, it's a case by case. If you guys have seen each other once a week or once every 2 weeks, that might drag out for a year or two.
You could be in a long distance relationship.
Oh, yeah.
That's another thing. That's another part where it's like you could be in a 3-year long distance relationship, and that I don't know. This is just thinking for me. I've never been in a long distance relationship.
I can tell you.
For me, if say I was in a long distance relationship, I know that obviously there's a connection because you do see each other, you try to see each other, you talk every single day. But that first meeting, and it may not be as like an easy transition, So I feel like that would be almost like, yeah, we've been together for 3 years, but you're almost starting a new relationship again when you start seeing each other every single day.
Right, because
you haven't even had dates. You're just FaceTiming or Skyping or phone
you
calls.
miss somebody that much. Time apart makes you really miss the other person.
Which I think is very important, and also at the same time.
Right. A time apart is super important because, you end up missing the other person. The thing is, I've learned in life that and again, I try to do this, right? But when you're apart from each other, if you can get through the long distance thing, you can pretty much get through anything.
Yeah.
And if you are in a long distance and time has gone by and you guys are finally going to be together, you have to remember how you felt during that long distance. You have to remember how much you missed each other when the other person was around, because now that the person is around all the time, one of two things are going to happen. One of you are going to sit down and say, okay, now I need my space. And the other one's going to be like, I'm so glad I'm still here.
Yeah.
Or you're both going to sit down and say, I'm glad we're both together. You understand?
Yeah.
And I'm at that point where I'm more, and where I'm currently at, I just want to be with the person that I'm with. And I will always remember how much I miss them. And even when I'm with them, I miss them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's when you realize how much you actually give a shit and how much you really care about somebody. When you miss them and they're still fucking next to you. It's weird.
Yeah.
Something I never experienced before. So time-wise to move in, I would say, again, within at least a year or two, it should be done.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't want to waste each other's time either.
No, I think after, say, a year and a half, max 2 years, like you said, if you haven't moved into that next step of that relationship, I don't know if it's going to go further than just that.
Yeah. And we're talking about being like over the age 25, 26.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
If you're 20, 21, you're going to be living at home with your parents for at least a few years. You know, you'll be in a relationship 4 or 5 years before you guys even do that.
Yeah.
But if you're pushing 30, you kind of have to figure that out, because
100%.
time is not on your side.
No.
Especially women when it comes to the whole birthing thing. You know, if you're 30 and you guys have been dating for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and you haven't been moved into each other, you know, with each other yet.
Yeah.
And you do decide you want to have kids, and then you realize 4 years down the line that you guys can't live together. Now you just lost 5 years. Now you're 35 trying to have a kid.
Yep.
And I know with the whole time clock thing, it becomes more difficult. But you know, it's and I'm not doing that because it's bullshit. I'm just saying that it's just a lot going on with time clock stuff, especially when you're at our age now. And by the way, Cody just had a birthday, everybody. Cody just is now officially in his dirty 30s.
Bang,
So,
bang.
Happy birthday to Cody. Leave
Let's
Cody
go.
a happy birthday comment in the comments, no matter how many times we talk about leaving a comment. No one ever does it. But
No one loves us.
no one loves us. They just like our reels.
Yeah. You just had one that popped off a
Yeah, I
little.
saw that. 24,000.
No, it's like at 30-something thousand.
Yeah, that was weird. It was what I said about the men, right? The Miami versus the Texas thing.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, money doesn't make you. Watch the damn YouTube video.
There were a lot of girls that were like, I love me a farmer boy.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok blew up. I was talking about Instagram.
It blew up on both.
I only saw 2 comments on Instagram.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm talking TikTok. Yeah.
Oh shit! I never even I gotta look at that. I haven't followed that. I love me a Texas man. So last but not least, how long? Remember, women. Women hold the keys to a relationship. Men. Yes, women hold the keys to a relationship. Men hold the keys to marriage. A man can't get in a relationship with you unless you say yes. And a woman can't get married unless the man proposes. So, how long before you propose to your woman?
I think that is, again, a case-by-case scenario. In my opinion, I think that... What you
I'm not nothing.
I think that's a case-by-case scenario, similar to how we are talking about moving in, how we are talking about how much time you spend with a person, how much they are integrating into your life, where you are in life, what your goals and ambitions and beliefs are with each other. I think that's a lot of variables as to what the time frame can be. I personally will say that. Okay, so here's a side note. Is this getting engaged, like proposing,
Yes,
or
proposing.
the actual marriage?
Proposing. The marriage thing is a different story.
Yeah.
Let's talk, and that also determines on age.
Yeah.
But let's talk about proposing.
So I think proposing, like I said, I think it can vary. I think that you could go from proposing to someone within a year to waiting 3 years. The reason why I say that is similar to what we were talking about wasting your time is, say you date someone for 4 years. Man goes down on his knee. She says no. You just wasted 4 years with someone that you thought that you were going to marry.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing.
You know?
But that's the gamble with relationships, though.
So I think that when you have realized that you have found the one and you realize that everything fits so well, like the puzzle has been completed on the table, I think go for what your heart feels like, you know? And I know that a lot of people will say, oh, your heart can get broken. That's too soon. That's perfectly fine, you know? But if you yourself are so sure that, wow, this person takes my breath away and I see them being the mother of my child and I can't wait to grow old with this person, there is no exact time, you know?
Yeah.
And I think you just have to go with what your heart goes with and trust that, you know? And for all the people that say you're doing it too soon, fuck them.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you want to put a time frame, I would say 1 to 3 years.
Yeah, I
know,
wouldn't
but-
do it unless we live together first.
Yeah, no, of course.
You gotta meet my parents. I wouldn't do it until we live together first. And once we live together, I would say maybe after anywhere between 6 months to a year after we move in together
Yeah.
is when I would consider it. I never considered marriage before. I never wanted to get married.
Yeah.
Did not. It was not my thing. It was like,
Yeah.
nah, we're good. Why? Maybe because I always felt like I still had an easy way out. But now that I'm older, I'm so for it.
Yeah.
I'm cool. Let's do it. I'm excited. You know,
Yeah.
If I truly love you, it's so weird how things change when you get older. Your mindset, also your testosterone's not fucking flying through the roof. So you're not a horny bastard pitching circus tents
Yeah.
all the time. But now that I've gotten older, is my testosterone still high? Yeah, I'm still making muscle and shit like that.
Yeah.
But my sex is my maybe
You're not
I
a
don't know.
horn dog like a high school boy.
With you know what, I'm not going to touch that subject, but what I am going to say is I could think a little more clearer, a little bit more mature,
Yeah.
and I would definitely like to do the marriage thing. I wouldn't say I want a big ass fucking wedding. I want to do that, but anyways, that's a whole nother story, a whole nother episode we can touch base.
Yeah.
So I would say we end it there, right?
Cody's quotes.
Oh shit,
I got one.
you got one.
I got
right?
one.
Okay, ready? And
Yeah.
three.
You gotta wait, can you lead me?
Yes,
Can
I
you,
got you. I got you. Ready? Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Dun, dun,
Hey,
dun, dun, dun.
it's Cody's quotes.
It's Cody's quotes.
It's on a note.
It's on a note.
Hey, and what? Cody.
There we go.
that was
You fucked that one up pretty
Fuck,
bad.
man.
I literally gave you the beat and you said it off beat. We're going to continue to work on that. The last episode was pretty good.
I just need to get headphones.
Yeah. Okay.
I just need to get headphones. Ready?
Yes.
All right.
This is intense, people.
Yeah. The screen comes in. Turn.
You
Cinematic music.
You should do that. Go
All
ahead.
right. No matter how busy a person's... Wow. I'm dyslexic. No matter how busy a person's day may be, if they really care, they will always find time.
Bro, you just contradicted the shit out of yourself. You just said before about, yeah, I told I was extremely busy for the whole month of June and I couldn't find time. Then you just made a quote saying, if they really want time with you,
Bro,
they'll make it. You contradict yourself.
Here's the thing. I was so busy. And I'm sorry. It's work, all right? When there's when there's actual
You should
time,
have let me read that first.
we'll just cut it.
No,
Hold on.
it's funny.
Let's do another Cody's quote. No, but you know,
That's funny.
I agree with it because if if my girl now, if she's like, oh, let's do this, or like, hey, my friends want to hang out, I was like, all right, I'll move something, or hey, it's simple as that. It's the simple fact that
Because you're in a relationship with her already.
yeah,
Right. You're not in that beginning stage.
yeah, and even in the beginning, once we got past that first date, it was good. I was ready to make time no matter what, but. Back into throwing that in my fucking face.
You did it, and someone's gonna say the same thing.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
But all right, to justify his thought process, when you're first speaking to someone, you really don't know where it's gonna go. You don't know if you're wasting your time. You don't know if they're really into you. Mm-hmm. You don't know if it was just a one-time thing. You don't know. So their relevancy in your life, or how important things are, they're not all the way up there. Right? You got life, you got a bunch of other shit going on, jobs, work, school, like all that's priority. They're not that high up on the priority level.
And you have to realize, me and my girl met online. I had never met this girl.
Right. So of course, there was
meet them not even a physical meeting. Mm-hmm. So I, wasn't sure how serious it was.
Yeah. Or if you were gonna get catfished.
Or if I was gonna get catfished like you.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like I the reason why I read that is, yes, I get that. Just what I
stab me.
What I did with not making time was just to the simple fact that, yes, if I had the time though, I would have made it. Mm-hmm. I did it. You know that you and I work a lot.
I know, bro.
You and I work a shit. I know. Why but I'm gonna get flamed now. This is gonna be the first video that gets comments. First video, watch.
I've gotten flamed numerous times.
No, but full YouTube video. Wow, what a dickhead.
Nah, you'll be fine. I'm gonna write that. No, it's good.
Your burner account.
Yeah, but no. So yeah, if you really want to make time, you'll make time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Simple as that.
As simple as that.
Like it comes down to, if you really care about the person, you're willing to move mountains at certain places, at certain times.
Yeah, and that takes time to be able to move mountains for somebody.
Yeah.
It doesn't just happen right away.
No, not at all.
So you want to close it off before we get you any more in trouble?
Yeah. It's from... Please,
God, save me.
Save me.
Close this.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in to this episode where we talk about how much time matters in a relationship. We hope you enjoyed it. We will post a video either over me or over Jay, whoever's face is over the last couple seconds. And if you guys don't mind, maybe leaving a comment down below on some of the topics that we covered, what you maybe would have in terms of time. How long do you wait to ask someone out? How long do you wait to introduce them to your parents or move in? But please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit us up on Spotify. We're going up on that. And just check us out on all of our social media channels.
Right. And if you don't see Cody back here again, it's because his girl killed him.
Yep.
Peace.
Deuces.